Welcome back to Blood 2 The Chosen. As you can tell by the music starting tense right away, we're either redoing the subway train a fourth goddamn time, or we're in a boss-only level.
The rest of your life's gonna be measured in seconds, chump.
And with that, Gideon just vanishes. Huh? Well, whatever. This fight is boring to watch. Bloody Gideon, as he's called, is literally just a reskinned red zealot with attacks you can't dodge if he fires them off. Let's get on with the important parts and get back to what I was talking about last time. After the dual failures of Shogo and Blood 2, Monolith began licensing the engine out for other developers to use. As a cheaper alternative to Unreal or Quake 3, several low-effort budget titles used the engine, particularly those from ValueSoft, and with Tech quickly gained a reputation for bad games. It probably would have stayed that way and just been a footnote in the transition between the 5th and 6th console generations, if not for Monolith learning several lessons from what happened to Shogo and Blood 2. One lesson in particular they learned from Half-Life was that, to quote that post-mortem interview from last time, presentation was more important than innovation. In Craig Hubbard's words, Half-Life didn't do a whole lot that was truly new, but what it did do was done so well that the game is made up of unforgettable moments even if they're not original. This in turn influenced the design of one of Monolith's first big hits after this game, 2000's The Operative No One Lives Forever, where they focused on making a comparatively humble game and then polishing what it did have to a mirror sheen. The result worked, to say the least. The two No One Lives Forever games, not counting a shitty side game, share the highest Metacritic scores among all Monolith's releases from that period. Shogo and Blood 2 also have something of a legacy among Monolith's later releases, as Easter eggs in their later games frequently reference the two. Shogo itself had magazines with Caleb on the cover, and sometimes had fallen foot soldiers spouting phrases in the Cabala's language. Tron 2.0 featured an arcade machine version of Shogo. An updated model of the Ore Dog was used as part of a technology demonstration for the third iteration of the engine in 2001. Perhaps most notably, however, is the 2005 game First Encounter Assault Recon, a game that shares Shogo's heavy influence from a genre of Japanese entertainment, in this case horror films like The Ring. Several company names from Shogo are reused in Fear. The events of the game primarily revolve around Armacam Technology Corporation, one of the three companies which formed the eponymous Shogo Corporation. Several weapons in Fear are attributed to the manufacturers of weapons and robots from Shogo, such as the Predator's manufacturer Andra being responsible for the FD-99 submachine gun in Fear 2, or Volmer making both the GA-14 in Shogo and the nearly identical VK-12 in Fear. The character Snake Fist in Fear 2 wears a shirt advertising a fictitious sequel to Shogo. Two of the weapons from Shogo, the Bullgut and the Juggernaut, inspired the Mod 3 rocket launcher and MP-50 repeating cannon in the first Fear. There's an Easter egg at the end of the game featuring a texture from Shogo and a radio that plays a message from the game followed by its theme song. As for Monolith themselves, they're still going strong. No One Lives Forever helped them bounce back, as mentioned already. They made Tron 2.0, a tie-in to the Tron series in 2003 that was so good it was considered as good as a proper sequel to the original 1982 film, and even with the later release of Tron Legacy making it non-canon, several of its plot elements were borrowed for that film. They created the MMO continuation to The Matrix, which ran from 2005 to 2009, and befitting that series' heavy interconnectivity between mediums is as good as we got to a sequel to the third film. Fear let them go back to their horror roots in 2005, as did Condemned Criminal Origins and its 2008 sequel. Most recently, they've been dipping their toes into J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, releasing Shadow of Mordor in 2014 and a sequel, Shadow of War, in 2017, which has garnered critical acclaim for their use of the Nemesis system. From there, who can say?
It's not over! You will never truly defeat me! Then I'll just have to keep on kicking your ass.
He wants you to follow him, you dumb bastard.
Never said I was smart.
Well, I can say it's not reality beta, fortunately. That's where I'm going, unfortunately. But before we get on with that, there is, of course, some cut content. This little dialogue at the end of the battle was a bit more extended before, including Ishmael popping up again to comment on things. There's also, of course, Gideon's end-of-chapter narration. Next time, we enter the final chapter of the game.